just people have beliefs. I mean, right or wrong, whether there's evidence or not, they're going to hold those beliefs dearly because they're part of their personality and makeup. And so some people you're not going to be able to reach. We have tried with journalists to make sure that we're accessible, that we have experts. A number of people have written books that have really looked in depth at it, and we direct people to those books and to those experts. We convened an independent organization, the Institute of Medicine, to do a thorough review. And so we had outside people look at the question because people said we were biased, and so we had others who we have no control over look at the issue and draw their own conclusions. We have done that. That said, I think I saw a survey a couple weeks ago that said that even today, 25% of parents still think that there's a relationship between autism and vaccines. Now, why is that? Well, one, probably because they've seen a lot of coverage. They may not have read those stories carefully. They may have just seen the headlines. A lot of people just read headlines or the first part of a story. Vaccines, I mean, who likes to get a shot, right? Not many people like to roll up their sleeves and get dinged with a needle. And so I think inherently we all have some trepidation about taking shots. And so if somebody gives us what seems like a plausible or good reason to avoid a shot, there are people who are going to take that and say, yeah, I mean, if I can avoid that shot, The benefits of shots are nothing happens, right? You don't get the flu. You don't get the measles. You don't get the mumps. It's hard to prove that because you got that shot, you didn't get measles, mumps, rubella. You probably didn't because of that, but you could never prove that you specifically didn't get it because of your vaccine. It may have actually been the vaccinations of others around you that prevented that. And so the benefits of a vaccine are often underappreciated because we don't get ill. And we just, again, it gets back to what do you assume? We all assume every day we're going to be healthy, right? And it's news if we're not. And so that comes into play in this circumstance as well. But yeah, we've had to deal with that issue. Are we near the end?
Many things about the PR and the media relations, and so it would be very beneficial for our students. And for the last question, could you just give our students some suggestions or advices that is very helpful to prepare for their job in the PR industry?
Sure.
Yeah.
Develop your communication skills would be one piece of advice, including those writing skills. I mean, if you have a chance to write and write under deadlines, write for the media, take advantage of that. One of the things that when we hire students, and we hired students in media relations to come in as press assistants, and we often we would go to a wide range of universities, let them know that we were interested in hiring somebody who's going to graduate. You would be amazed the differences in cover letters and resumes. And you can really tell who can write from a cover letter and a resume. In terms of, are they to the point? Is their resume well organized? Does it have a clear structure? Are they writing from the perspective of them or from the organization? And so when I would see resumes that said things like, I am looking for a job that will challenge me in a bunch of different ways, doesn't work. You have to be able to say, I think I bring to your organization the skills you are looking for, including blank, blank, blank. But if you start with the I, and this is about me, you're going to find that that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make in terms of a cover letter and a resume. Your resume needs to be really good at showing that you have skills that are relevant. And so spending a lot of time on letting people know about you were a waiter or a waitress, that may be important if you can translate that into skills that are relevant, that you dealt with difficult people. You're comfortable working under pressure, because those jobs do teach you those things. But you can't leave it to the imagination of the resume reader to put those things in there. And so you've got to take care of that yourself. Network. And so if you have a chance to meet people who are in the media, who are doing public relations, whether as an intern or at a presentation, do it. Let them know that you're interested. There's a lot of people like who I've met who are doing this as a career who are really interested in helping young people. And the ones who introduce themselves stand out. And I think it's a huge advantage. Visit your faculty members. I mean, one of the ways I screen people, or way that I discovered good candidates was, I know faculty members at a number of universities, and I would send them an email and say, I'm looking for good candidates. And if those faculty members know you, they were the names that they sent to me. If they didn't know you, your name never got sent to me. And so, you know, you got to make yourself known to people who can make you known to others. And that was one of the primary ways that we found good candidates, was sending emails to faculty members, like University of Georgia, University of Missouri, University of Alabama. I know a lot of people at a lot of places, and they would send me, you know, 3, 4 names. And what they would do, if I sent an email to somebody at the University of Alabama, they would go talk to their other faculty members. So you didn't necessarily have to know Joe Phelps, but Joe would go down the hall and he would talk to the PR faculty and say, you know, I've got an email from Glen Nowak and he's looking for some good candidates for a press assistant job, and do you know of any? And they would give him 3 or 4 names, and then Joe would send them to me. And that really is how, because otherwise what happens is we get, you know, hundreds of resumes, and it's really hard. You know, even you can, like I said, you can tell good writing skills from a resume, but after you get down to 12 really good writers, you still got 12 people that you got to figure out who's going to be the best. And so that's where you start calling people like professors and others who can speak about the person's skills, and that makes a difference. So I think those are the things that I would say you can and should do, and they're all doable.
Before we conclude, any other questions?
Not a question, but just an announcement, a reminder for folks that Dr. Nowak, former professor and maybe future professor again sometime, is going to be giving a talk at 7:30 tonight on campus in the Arts Building, the NFAC, in room 221, 7:30 tonight in the NFAC building, and you're all, of course, invited to that public talk that he's giving.
Well, and I thank you for your time and attention. It's been fun to be up here, and really good questions, and I wish you all the best of luck. So.
Thank you.